taking a look at how do mining companies make profits from mines, but also what are some of the things they need to do to safeguard the resource, because these are not renewable, right? We can't just replace the minerals that we find and the ones that we use. We have to look at the reserves that we have, the gain, which tailings, both words kind of synonymous, and then your reclamation plan. What are you going to do to restore the land that gets destroyed from the mining operation? Okay. I also want you to take on the hat of a mining company owner, so you are going to look at the economics of what you're doing too, because companies want to make a profit, and environmentally responsible companies are going to want to be caring for that environment while they're doing so. Does that make sense? Okay. So you have the details of what you're doing. The cookie is your mining material. And I have 3 sources, because not all land is equal, so it's harder sometimes to get the mineral out of the land than other times. So I have the Always Save chocolate chip cookies. I have Chips Ahoy. And I have Kirkland Bakery cookies. All right. So, you guys, you got to understand, you're going to need to try 2 different mining locations. That means 2 different types of cookies. All right? You're going to need to take care of your equipment, because every company needs to take care of the equipment they invest in, right? Otherwise, they have to buy new equipment all the time. That's expensive, especially when you consider the cost of mechanical kinds of equipment and the technology in them nowadays. So your mining materials are not that technical, so you'll get the idea of taking care of them. Let's look down the lab a little bit. Each mining company, that's your lab group, you're responsible for keeping track of all your costs, which include the cost of the mine. You have to lease the land that you're going to get the materials from. You have to pay for your equipment, and your wonderful equipment is flat toothpicks, round toothpicks, paper clips, or a plastic fork. Okay? You can see on your lab sheets the cost for both leasing the land for the mining expedition, but also the cost of your materials later down in number 5. Okay? You're going to choose your mining lab, or land I should say, put it on your graph paper. Know that you're doing at least 2 cookies, so leave enough space on your graph paper to do 2 cookies. You know, otherwise, because I know some of them put it right in the middle of the center on the first one, and then you're not going to have the room you want. All right. Each partial square counts as a full square, because we are putting a round piece of land parcel on your squares of your graph paper, right? So you're going to trace it, then count all the partial squares. That's going to be your square area. Each cookie will be masked. Look at the balance out. You know, if you're going to want to eat what's left of your mining material at the end of the lab, please put your cookie on a paper towel before you put it on the electronic balances, because you know what have been on those balances before, right? You don't want to eat that. Okay, just saying. Please note, you can't use your fingers to hold the cookie. So a little teamwork will be in process here. All right. Your mining costs, because there's labor costs, there's gasoline or power costs to your equipment. You have a $2 per minute cost for the time you spend trying to get the ore, the chips, out of your land. Okay? Sale of chips brings in $10 per gram. Chips with 25 to 50% impurities. So that means the cookie's still attached to the chip. And you'll have to judge that, are only going to be worth $5 per gram. Chips with over 50% impurities are worth $1 per gram. So you're going to have to decide if the reduced amount of pay for the chip is going to be beneficial, or if time spent taking the tailings off the chip is a better use of your time economically. Okay?
What about ones under 25%?
What about ones underneath?
Under 25%.
Those are, I think we're assuming you're not going to be able to get all your crumbs off your chips.
Try.
All right, he's got that up. Okay, let's change that from 0 to 50 then for you, Peyton. Okay? All right.
Wait, hold on.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that I spelled that. Okay. When mining's complete, you count to mass your chips. When the cookie's been mined, the remaining rock, gang, and must be placed back into that circled area on the graph paper. That can only be done with your mining tools. Okay? Count up the number of squares covered by those tailings, and if it covers more than the original cookie, you have an extra reclamation cost to cover. The next couple of pages are your accounting sheets for your mining sites. Since there's 8 tables in here, I do have enough cookies for each group to do all 3 mining sites. And then I assume that you'll help me take care of the rest of the mining site material afterwards.
Wait,
Okay.
we have 2 cookies and there's 3 mining sites.
Yeah, you can do 3. You can do 1 of each.
Oh,
Minimum.
You have to do at least 2. If we have time, we can do a third. Okay? Mallory.
Okay, so you said that we each have to do at least 2, so do you mean like 2 as a table? Or
As a table, yes. Your table's a mining company.
You said it was 0 to 50% off, only $5 per gram, so we can't get
We
to.
were all
sharing it. So why do we have 4 papers?
So it's chips with 25%.
We only need one. So is this where we need to share a cookie between?
So we just like have to guess.
And if we have 4, do we have to pay for
All right,
4
we're gonna come
mining?
back. Oh, Peyton, if you have less than 25% impurities on your chip, it's worth $10 a gram. If it's 25 to 50% impurities, it's then only going to worth 5.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that one.
If it's over 50, it's going to be only worth $1. Okay, so now we got it. Bryn, question.
how much money is that offer?
I think you're just adding up the costs to get started. You don't have a beginning budget this
Does it
time.
win if we have the cheapest?
If like we make the most profit.
Yeah,
The lowest
the ones that make, your costs come in with what kind of cookie and what kind of mining materials. That's your cost going in. And then your mining time, right? Cost of time. Guys, remember, it's costing you money every minute you spend mining. So note someone to be the timekeeper at your table. Okay? What else do you need to know from me? Give this a go.
So we're doing 1 per group, and you have 4 mining tools? 4
Yes.
mining tools, 1. You pay for each one?
Yeah. All right, talk the strategy. Come see me for materials when you're ready.
Okay, so our game plan is to use, okay, I need to cut quiet so nobody else hears. A flat toothpick and what is this, a paper clip to kind of stab out the chocolate chip and then stab it and pull it out, extract it.
And so we're using a Costco cookie and a Chips Ahoy.
So we decided to go with 1 round toothpick my man Parker Jackson over here, he decided that this was the best way to go. It's pretty durable and give us the best way to do it. We decided that we're gonna go one of each, you know, we gotta see what works best, and then we'll decide later on what our company should go forward as, if we should focus on the cheap ones or the expensive ones.
I'm ready. So Mallory has the store brand cookie, and she's using a paper clip because she thinks that she can get more like our fine chocolate. And then Maddie and I are using a toothpick because it's cost effective and it'll get the job done. And then we just wanted one of each cookie, so I have the name brand and Maddie has the store brand, or bakery brand.
We're using a round toothpick and a paper clip, and a bakery cookie and a store brand cookie to create the least amount of damage that we can to the cookie, hopefully with the tools that we use.
Alrighty, so for our group, we are doing one of each of the cookies, one bakery, one name brand, Chips Ahoy I think it is, and one store brand. We're using flat toothpicks because they're cheaper and still seem somewhat reliable. We also have a couple of round ones to really get the big stuff out, you know. Big chunks. Big chunks. And, you know, we're going to see what gives us the most value and go from there.
Thank you.
Okay, the total we made from our chocolate chips was $107. We subtracted $32 from our supplies, and we made $75 in total off of the Costco cookie.
So,
Spit on me.
we kind of we combined all of our cookies together, and we didn't do individual mining sites. We did our whole company as a whole. So before we had at the end of the day, we had $74.66 of costs just from the mining section, and we made $234 profit, 23.4 grams of under 25% impurities, aka $10 per gram, and then reclamation costs, we had 42 squares with crumbs in it, so that's another minus $42. End of the day, company made $117.32. Pretty good day.
So the bakery cookie started with 43.1 grams, and Maddie was able to mine out 11.9 grams of chocolate chips, which made her about 60 bucks. And then towards the end, she ended up with 27.6% of ore in her mine. But she ended up in debt, so it didn't do it much.
Wait, are we all in debt?
Long story short, we all ended up in debt.
Bad businesswomen.
Yep.
Okay, so for our total amount of tools and stuff, we spent $51 and our profit was $75. So we only made about $25 because we broke both of our tools, which was not good. And then our chips still had some cookie left on them, so that subtracted some of it too.
Alright, so we took 2 minutes to mine all this, as you see. We ended up having 6.2 ounces, I believe, which we made $62 plus $5, that's $67. And then with our materials, we had to take away $10, and then with our time, it was $2 per minute, so that's 68 minus 14, which is equal to 54. So we ended up making $54 from this one cookie.